Rune 43 of the Kalevala. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit librivox.org. The Kalevala, compiled by Elias Lönnrot, translated by John Martin Crawford. Rune 43. The Sampo Lost in the Sea. Louhi, hostess of Pohjola, called her many tribes together, gave the archers bows and arrows, gave the brave men spears and broadswords, fitted out her mightiest warship, in the vessel placed her army, with their swords 100 heroes, with their bows 1,000 archers, quick erected masts and sail yards, on the masts her sails of linen, hanging like the clouds of heaven, like the white clouds in the ether, sailed across the seas of Pohja, to retake the wondrous Sampo from the heroes of Wainola. Wainamoinen, old and faithful, sailed across the deep blue waters, spake these words to Lemminkainen: "O thou daring son of Lempo, best of all my friends and heroes, mount the highest of the topmasts, look before you into ether, look behind you at the heavens, well examine the horizon, whether clear or filled with trouble." Climbed the daring Lemminkainen, ever ready for a venture, to the highest of the mastheads. Looked he eastward, also westward, looked he northward, also southward, then addressed wise Wainamoinen: "Clear the sky appears before me, but behind a dark horizon, in the north a cloud is rising, and a longer cloud at northwest." Wainamoinen thus made answer: "Art thou speaking truth or fiction? I am fearful that the warships of Pohjola are pursuing, look again with keener vision." Thereupon wild Lemminkainen looked again and spake as follows: "In the distance seems a forest, in the south appears an island, aspen groves with falcons laden, alders laden with the wood grouse." Spake the ancient Wainamoinen: "Surely thou art speaking falsehood, 'Tis no forest in the distance, neither aspen, birch, nor alders, laden with the grouse or falcon. I am fearful that Pohjola follows with her magic armies, look again with keener vision." Then the daring Lemminkainen looked the third time from the topmast, spake, and these the words he uttered: "From the north a boat pursues us, driven by 100 rowers, carrying 1,000 heroes." Knew at last old Wainamoinen, knew the truth of his inquiry, thus addressed his fleeing people: "Row, O blacksmith Ilmarinen, row, O mighty Lemminkainen, row all ye my noble oarsmen, that our boat may skim the waters, may escape from our pursuers." Rowed the blacksmith Ilmarinen, rowed the mighty Lemminkainen, with them rowed the other heroes. Heavily groaned the helm of birch wood, loudly rattled all the rowlocks, all the vessel shook and trembled, like a cataract it thundered, as it plowed the waste of waters, tossing sea foam to the heavens. Strongly rowed Wainola's forces, strongly were their arms united, but the distance did not widen 'twixt the boat and their pursuers. Quick the hero Wainamoinen saw misfortune hanging over, saw destruction in the distance, heavy hearted, long reflecting, trouble laden, spake as follows: "Only is there one salvation, no one miracle for safety." Then he grasped his box of tinder, from the box he took a flint stone, of the tinder took some fragments, cast the fragments on the waters, spake these words of master magic: "Let from these arise a mountain, from the bottom of the deep sea, let a rock arise in water, that the warship of Pohjola, with her 1,000 men and heroes, may be wrecked upon the summit by the aid of surging billows." Instantly a reef arises, in the sea springs up a mountain, eastward, westward, through the waters came the warship of the Northland, through the floods the boat came steering, sailed against the mountain ledges, fastened on the rocks in water, wrecked upon the mount of magic. In the deep sea fell the topmasts, fell the sails upon the billows, carried by the winds and waters, o'er the waves of toil and trouble. Louhi, hostess of Pohjola, tries to free her sinking vessel, tries to rescue from destruction but she cannot raise the war-ship, firmly fixed upon the mountain. Shattered are the ribs and rudder, ruined is the ship of Pohya. Then the hostess of the Northland, much disheartened, spake as follows: "Where the force in earth or heaven that will help a soul in trouble?" Quick she changes form and feature, makes herself another body, takes 5 sharpened scythes of iron, also takes 5 goodly sickles, shapes them into eagle talons, takes the body of the vessel, makes the framework of an eagle, takes the vessel's ribs and flooring, makes them into wings and breastplate. For the tail she shapes the rudder, in the wings she plants 1,000 seniors with their bows and arrows, sets 1,000 magic heroes, in the body armed with broadswords, in the tail 100 archers with their deadly spears and crossbows. Thus the bird is hero feathered. Quick she spreads her mighty pinions, rises as a monster eagle, flies on high and soars and circles. With one wing she sweeps the heavens, while the other sweeps the waters. Spake the hero's ocean mother: "O thou ancient Wainamoinen, turn thy vision to the northeast, cast thine eyes upon the sunrise, look behind thy fleeing vessel, see the eagle of misfortune." Wainamoinen turned as bidden, turned his vision to the northeast, cast his eyes upon the sunrise. There beheld the Northland hostess, wicked witch of Sariola, flying as a monster eagle, swooping on his mighty war ship, flies and perches on the topmast, on the sail yards firmly settles, nearly overturns the vessel of the heroes of Wainola, underneath the weight of envy. Then the hero Ilmarinen turned to Ukko as his refuge, thus entreated his creator: "Ukko, thou, O God in heaven, thou creator full of mercy, guard us from impending danger, that thy children may not perish, may not meet with fell destruction. Hither bring thy magic fire cloak, that thy people thus protected may resist Pohyola's forces, well may fight against the hostess of the dismal Sariola, may not fall before her weapons, may not in the deep sea perish." Then the ancient Wainamoinen thus addressed the ancient Louhi: "O thou hostess of Pohyola, wilt thou now divide the Sampo, on the fog point in the water, on the island forest covered?" Thus the Northland hostess answered: "I will not divide the Sampo, not with thee, thou evil wizard, not with wicked Wainamoinen." Quick the mighty eagle Louhi swoops upon the lid in colors, grasps the Sampo in her talons, but the daring Lemminkainen straightway draws his blade of battle, draws his broadsword from his girdle, cleaves the talons of the eagle. One toe only is uninjured, speaks these magic words of conquest: "Down ye spears and down ye broadswords, down ye 1,000 witless heroes, down ye feathered hosts of Louhi." Spake the hostess of Pohyola, calling, screeching from the sail yards: "O thou faithless Lemminkainen, wicked wizard, Kaukomieli, to deceive thy trusting mother, thou didst give to her thy promise not to go to war for ages, not to war for 60 summers. Though desire for gold impels thee, though thou wishest gold and silver." Wainamoinen, ancient hero, the eternal wisdom singer, thinking he had met destruction, snatched the rudder from the waters, with it smote the monster eagle, smote the eagle's iron talons, smote her countless feathered heroes. From her breast her hosts descended, spearmen fell upon the billows. From the wings descend 1,000, from the tail 100 archers. Swoops again the bird of Pohya to the bottom of the vessel, like the hawk from birch or aspen, like the falcon from the linden, grasps the Sampo with one talon, drags the treasure to the waters, drops the magic lid in colors, from the red rim of the war ship to the bottom of the deep sea, where the Sampo breaks in pieces, scatters through the Alu waters, in the mighty deeps for ages, to increase the ocean's treasures, treasures for the host of Ahto. Nevermore will there be wanting riches for the Ahto nation, never while the moonlight brightens on the waters of the Northland. Many fragments of the Sampo floated on the purple waters, on the waters deep and boundless, rocked by winds and waves of Suomi, carried by the rolling billows to the seasides of Wainola. Wainamoinen, ancient minstrel, saw the fragments of the treasure floating on the billows landward, fragments of the lid in colors. Much rejoicing spake as follows: "Thence will come the sprouting seed grain, the beginning of good fortune, the unending of resources, from the plowing and the sowing, from the glimmer of the moonlight, from the splendor of the sunshine, on the fertile plains of Suomi, on the meads of Kalevala." Louhi, hostess of Pohjola, thus addressed old Wainamoinen: "Know I other mighty measures, know I means that are efficient, and against thy golden moonlight, and the splendor of thy sunshine, and thy plowing, and thy reaping, in the rocks I'll sink the moonbeams, hide the sun within the mountain. Let the frost destroy thy sowings, freeze the crops on all thy cornfields. Iron hail I'll send from heaven on the richness of thine acres, on the barley of thy planting. I will drive the bear from forests, send the Otso from the thickets, that he may destroy the cattle, may annihilate thy sheepfolds, may destroy thy seeds at pasture. I will send thee 9 diseases, each more fatal than the other, that will sicken all thy people, make thy children sink and perish, never more to visit Northland, never while the moonlight glimmers on the plains of Kalevala." Thus the ancient bard made answer: "Not a Laplander can banish Wainamoinen and his people, never can a Turjalander drive my tribes from Kalevala. God alone has power to banish, God controls the fate of nations, never trusts the arms of evil, never gives his strength to others. As I trust in my Creator, call upon benignant Ukko, he will guard my crops from danger, drive the frost fiend from my cornfields, drive great Otso to his caverns. Wicked Louhi of Pohjola, thou canst banish evil doers, in the rocks canst hide the wicked, in thy mountains lock the guilty. Thou canst never hide the moonlight, never bide the silver sunshine. In the caverns of thy kingdom freeze the crops of thine own planting, freeze the barley of thy sowing. Send thine iron hail from heaven to destroy the Lapland cornfields, to annihilate thy people, to destroy the hosts of Pohja. Send great Otso from the heather, send the sharp tooth from the forest, to the fields of Sariola, and the herds and flocks of Louhi." Thus the wicked hostess answered: "All my power has departed, all my strength has gone to others, all my hope is in the deep sea, in the waters lies my Sampo." Then the hostess of Pohjola home departed, weeping, wailing, to the land of cold and darkness, only took some worthless fragments of the Sampo to her people. Carried she the lid to Pohja, in the blue sea left the handle, hence the poverty of Northland, and the famines of Pohjola. Wainamoinen, ancient minstrel, hastened to the broad sea's margin, stepped upon the shore in joyance, found there fragments of the Sampo, fragments of the lid in colors, on the borders of the waters, on the curving sands and seasides, gathered well the Sampo relics from the waters near the fog point, on the island forest covered. Spake the ancient Wainamoinen, spake these words in supplication: "Grant, O Ukko, our Creator, grant to us, thy needful children, peace and happiness and plenty, that our lives may be successful, that our days may end in honor, on the vales and hills of Suomi, on the prairies of Wainola, in the homes of Kalevala. Ukko, wise and good Creator, Ukko, God of love and mercy, shelter and protect thy people from the evil-minded heroes, from the wiles of wicked women, that our country's plagues may leave us, that the faithful tribes may prosper. Be our friend and strong protector, be the helper of thy children, in the night a roof above them, in the day a shield around them, that the sunshine may not vanish, that the moonlight may not lessen, that the killing frosts may leave them, and destructive hail pass over. Build a metal wall around us, from the valleys to the heavens, build of stone a mighty fortress on the borders of Wainola, where thy people live and labor, as their dwelling place forever. Sure protection to thy people, where the wicked may not enter, nor the thieves break through and pilfer. Never while the moonlight glistens, and the sun brings golden blessings to the plains of Kalevala." End of Rune 43. Recording by Timothy Ferguson, Gold Coast, Australia.